Good afternoon from me.
Good afternoon.
Yes, look who's here, look who's here. What's the explanation why I did not come last week?
Why did it not come last week? Oh, well, you were having your, what's it?
The kitchen was being painted.
Kitchen was being painted.
And there's a video about
I got
that.
dumped on. My
Yeah, grandchildren, that's why.
That's it.
Yeah, that's why. I knew there was a reason.
Yeah. And then I had to go at work.
Yeah, can't you retire? Can you just add a few years on your age and retire?
I wish I could.
Lie about your
I
age.
could.
Lie about your age.
Oh no, because I'd want the pension contributions as well.
Yeah, that's a drawback, isn't it?
It is, but
in the UK here, you see, you've got to pay enough contributions in before they let you retire.
yeah.
And they keep putting the retirement age up and up and up, don't they?
I know.
I was looking at somewhere, there was a petition to drop the age of women retiring like back down to 60 again. But I mean, I still thought, well, it's still unfair on the guys unless they drop the guys back to 65, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Well, why don't they just save all the arguments and have men and women retiring at 63?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm sorry guys who's watching, but it's a known fact, isn't it, that we women usually live longer. So I know it's nice for us to retire early, but earlier than the guys. But I mean, they do work, you know, mostly as hard.
No, I actually think that the retirement age should be the same.
For both men and women, I think so, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have minded if it was 65 full stop, but when it went to 67...
I know.
I thought that was taking...
Tell me about it, because I just missed out.
Well, I was lucky enough to get the 60 retirement. If I'd have stayed another year at work, I would have hit the 65.
Right.
Or was it 63 first of all? Might have been 63 and then it went to 65 and now it's gone to 67.
Yes.
Do you know, they just don't want to pay us any pension. They want us to die in the stirrups and such. You know, finish them all off. Work them to death, you know.
That's it.
I mean, I couldn't have carried on working anyway with my back and stuff. You know, I just couldn't have. I just hope you don't go the same way. That you have to retire because of your back and stuff.
Well, I'm hoping that I won't, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
I
the
mean,
thing is, it's like, there was a lady I was working with the other day, and she retired, and then went on the bank.
Yeah.
Which, you know, a group of people you can draw on for shifts and everything.
Yeah, because I don't want to know what the bank is in America.
But she said she was 70. No, fair enough, she don't look 70. But I thought, oh, the thought of doing...
If you're fit, if I was fit, I would have happily carried on.
Yeah.
Till I was like 65, because my job wasn't... It was stressful mentally, but it wasn't hard physically.
Yeah.
Well, the last job I had before I retired. I couldn't have carried on in the wool shop because I was up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
My mother did. My mother didn't retire until she was 70-something, nearly 80, I think, before my mum did. But bear in mind, I mean, she worked with families, so we did all the running about for her. She used to sit on her chair and chat to people, and then she'd get up off her chair and serve if we got busy. So, I mean, it was the same with my dad. My dad did the same thing. So it wasn't like she was working hard at it unless we were busy. But she liked the company, you see. She liked to sit on a little chair, do knitting and talk to people. And I always used to say the day that my dad retired would be the end of him, and it really was.
Yeah.
He just went into such a decline. Because I was talking one time to an insurance salesman, and he said he could usually tell which guys were going to live longer.
Yeah.
He said, the guys who said, right, that's me, I'm 65 now, I'm going to sit in my chair and I'm going to watch the television and I'm not going to do anything. He said they were usually dead within a couple of years. But the ones who used to say, oh, I'm going to do my allotment now and I'm going to go bowling and I've got all these things planned to do and that, they'd be still going on. He said the worst thing you can do is just sit and do nothing. So I'm thinking, ooh, does crocheting count as doing something? Ooh.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because you're keeping your mind active, your hands active, if no else.
Because I had to stay out of the way while I've been painting and that. My kitchen video is before this video, so if you want to see that, just have a look. It's only about 5 minutes. And I had to stay out of the way because I just was in the way, you know.
Yeah.
They would have liked me to have gone out because they kept saying, can't Sue take you out for the day? And I said, no, she's working.
That's it. Unfortunately, I've got to work.
Yeah, give her a ring and tell her to take you out of the way, you know. But anyway, I managed to stay out of the way. I felt really bad because I felt like I was, skiving off everything.
Yeah.
Skiving off is a Lancashire word. It means ducking out of things, yeah. I felt like I was just not pulling my weight at all, which I wasn't. But it was their choice. They didn't want me there,
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Mm.
Well, since we've been talking about retirement and about work, somebody asked the question what I did for a living.
Yeah.
Well, I support adults with learning disabilities in their own homes. That's what I do. It's not something I could really elaborate much on.
No.
Because we've got like confidentiality.
Oh yeah, you can't do
stuff. So,
like that,
but needless to say, I do love my job.
Yeah.
There are times when I don't love my job. I think I don't.
Because they drive you nuts, yeah.
It can be. It can be a very challenging occupation sometimes.
Yeah.
But I keep going back for more.
Yeah. My late cousin used to deal with. She was a sister.
Right.
On it was a mentally handicapped ward, but it was mostly old people with learning difficulties and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Hang on a minute.
It's the gardener.
It's the gardener. You carry on talking while I come back. It's my gardener.
Come on, up you go.
Up I go.
I've got shove her through.
Come on, baby.
Through the floor then. So basically that's what I do. There are 4 service users where I work at the moment, and it can get very busy. And you can be quite frazzled at the end of a shift. So I suppose me crochet and crafting sort of is relaxation, therapy. Although I do wish I could do a little bit more. I'm not like Jan, I'm struggling now to find stuff to say. I much prefer a conversation. But I'll have to wait until she's let the gardener through. Keep expecting Gigi to come bounding through the door. No, it sounds like she's having a chat. I think. Oh no, she's coming.
I'll shut this door then, you can't go out.
I think she's sorting the doors out.
Just tidy up, put things, hoover up the leaves, yeah. Gigi.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gigi wants to be outside with the gardener.
Here we go. Gigi, come in.
She's fighting with him to get him back in now.
Ready or here I come.
Are you sorted?
Ready or not, here we come.
I've gone all blank, I don't know what to say.
Oh dear.
I'm not very good at having a conversation with a camera. I'm not used to it at all.
Hi people, I'm back.
See, I'm much better when there's a person there. I could have talked to the dog, but it ran off.
He ran to greet the gardener. I'd
Yeah.
completely forgotten she was coming. That's what I'm like these days. Very forgetful. And now he wants to be out in the garden with her, but she's got the garage door open, so
He's better off
he's
in
better
here.
off in here
Yeah.
because he'll be down the clough on his own.
And I'm not going running after him.
He's not got the big girls here.
Come on.
He's on his own this today because, wait for it, they've got the keys today, this morning. So they've gone to take the dogs for a look round. Hey! Be a while before they move though.
Yeah.
They bought a fixer-upper, so they've got a lot to do. Just after she's, my daughter-in-law's knackered herself doing my kitchen.
Oh.
She's now got to start on her own kitchen.
We've just got to finish yours off first.
Well, it's only bits and pieces, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Gigi's going to bark again because he knows who it is. He knows who's arrived because Hazel's out the front and she's, sweeping up the leaves and doing a bit of tidying because the grass is still not grown again.
No.
After the foray, doing all the stuff and that. So, what was I saying? I've been knitting. I don't know whether to show you this.
You've
but
been knitting.
It was James C. Brett, our favourite.
Yeah.
It's top value tweed. And everyone wants to know how many yards are on these things, and the English yarn doesn't tell you.
Let's have a look. I thought James C. Brett wasn't so
Oh, it did. So many metres there. What has it said?
290 metres.
Yeah.
The very first poncho I made for my granddaughter, I used top value tweeds.
Yeah.
And I had 3 or 4 colours.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, everything's going.
Everything's falling over. This is my bit of my cheat sheet. I can't read little writing. And I got fed up of getting my magnifying glass.
Yeah. So you've got to stop what you're doing if you've got to do that.
I can't see what I'm doing. I'm terrible. Anyway, what I was doing is... Yeah, I'm making that pink one. That pink one there. Which I'm so terrible with patterns. I haven't knitted for seriously, I haven't knitted for a long time really. I knitted some little miniature doll things, didn't I, last year? Was it a year before?
Yeah, but no, you haven't knitted for a while,
no,
have you?
But my wrists were hurting, so I thought, well, I'll have a change. I'll see if it hurts my shoulder. But I wanted starting with a little cardigan for Abby. That's my great niece. So I've got the back, 2 fronts, 1 sleeve, and that much sleeve, and I've still got that tiny little bit left from one ball.
That's not bad going at all, is it?
No, I know she's only small. Well, I'm hoping it's going to fit her. But I had terrible trouble with my lacy pattern because I've been so long I've not done a lace pattern. But how you ladies do those lacy shawls with about 3 million stitches on, I have no idea.
Remembering
where
which
you're up
section
to.
of the pattern's what.
Yeah, where you're up to, yeah. No.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Just to show you what I'm...
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing all that stranding.
That's really cute.
I'm not doing all that stranding.
I must admit
Yeah, that's the back anyway. I've got to block it all out. I'm having terrible trouble blocking. I can't block that waistcoat out of finish because I've got nowhere to put anything.
You will have, Sue.
I used to always put everything on blocking boards, either outside on the table, which is now full of all sorts, or I used to put it indoors on the floor, which I can't do because
dogs everywhere.
I mean, I used to be able to do it like when Gigi had gone home, but of course I've got the 2 girls coming, that run through. So I'll be back to being able to block everything properly, people.
Hey.
Yay! I've still not decided what I'm going to do that gorgeous yarn. A big pile of leaves just went whizzing past the window. Then she's got a leaf blower on them. Yeah, I've had the hall plastered, haven't I? It's all wet plaster.
Yeah. I must admit, today's the first day I've seen the new kitchen, and gosh, it looks bright in there.
Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does look very nice.
Yeah, there is a video. It's only 5 minutes long, but there is a video. I'm so thrilled with it. I mean, that oven's brilliant.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a friend of our Ian's who goes and they refurbish kitchens.
Right.
And you get these ladies who've got lots of money, that want a brand new kitchen.
They just want a brand new cooker to go in the brand new.
So they have a brand new cooker to go in the brand new kitchen, and they move in a new house, well, new to them house.
Yeah.
So they don't want the kitchen that the previous owners had. So I managed to pick this up for a song, really. When you think how much I would have had to pay for a brand new one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so I was really chuffed with it, and I didn't realise my old one wasn't working too well until I burned everything. Well, not burned everything, but overdone everything. Because I'm used to putting everything on like the 200, and the only thing I've got a problem with this is it's got, when you turn the knob on the dial, you can't leave it set. You have to turn it on and then turn it to the number that you want. Yeah. And it's little teeny weeny red writing. So I'm there with my magnifying glass.
You'll have to put it on a string next to
I'll have to get one and put it on a string.
Yeah.
Put it next to the cooker. I've got an old one actually that's a bit scratched, so I could put that one next to the cooker. Yeah. I spent ages looking for my great big owl glasses.
Right.
And they wondered why I'd left them in the kitchen, but it's because I can't read labels on things. Yeah.
That's a pretty book, that.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
It's very old, it's an old as the old one.
Oh, it is. It's very...
W.H.
Smith.
Probably.
The type
I can't tell you what it is because it's so old. It's even got machine knitting at the back.
Right. Oh yeah, machine knitting.
Designs for
that must be 80s then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 83.
1983, modern book.
Oh, that's when my daughter was born, 1983.
My lad was born 69. I'm always adding a year on to him. I keep saying 1968, but I was married in 68. He was born in 69.
Right.
And Arian keeps saying, no, I wasn't born in 1968. I was born in 1969 when he stopped adding a year on my age. So.
Oh yes. Yeah. Machine knitting.
Yeah, not that I'll be doing any. I might do. I need to give my machines a really good clean because they're full of dust and dirt and God knows what. Because they've been in the dining room and they haven't been used since I can't remember when. One reason is I put them both against the wall, didn't I? And I can't actually use them there. I'd have to pull them out to use them because there isn't enough room to go all the way across.
Yeah.
And also I had a chair that was rigid. So when I went all the way across after I'd done a few rows, my back started to hurt and my hips started to hurt. But I've got a typist chair now that swivels. So when I go across, my body will turn with the machine.
That's it. It helps the
Not
movement.
me turning my body. I was twisting my body, but my bum was staying in one place. But now I'm swivelling. So I'm hoping I can start using my machines again. I mean, my daughter-in-law wanted me to sell one of them because her friend wanted one. I said, no way. Not selling that.
No.
I mean, not only did I get the machine, I got every known gadget known to man that went with it. Every book that came out, every gizmo gadget I bought for that machine. So there is no way I can get anywhere
near what
I paid for it. It's just, I mean, it was nearly £700 when I bought it, the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a bit cheaper now, actually, even a new one. But then I must have spent another £300
on bits.
Ribbons, gadgets, gizmos, you name it. Because you only get the basic machine when you buy a machine. You don't get a ribber. You have to buy that extra. And I bought mine brand new. It was Bambas they were called. They're still there, Bambas, but they only do sewing machines now.
Right.
Bambas was the one who repaired my sewing machine. My mum's sewing machine.
Right.
Which, when I get my craft room,
that's it. You can sort it out then, can't
I'm not going to be branching into sewing as such. But, you know, bag linings, repairs, when you rip something. I mean, my skirt that I ripped, you know, the other week, it's still there because I need a machine to repair it because it's just such a big rip. I can't sit and hand sew that. Yeah. But in any case, it's a flimsy skirt, so it's not going to come out until probably next spring now.
That's it, so...
Yeah, so that's it.
Nothing lost.
No, so I'll be able to get my craft room. Yay! I bet you're all waiting for that because I know I am
waiting for that as well.
You're getting excited too.
I know.
I keep finding yarn that I've forgotten about because I'm like having to go like that and rummage in the bag, you know. I can't go to where I want.
Yeah.
I mean, the other day I was looking for something and I thought, I know I've got something like this. I just know.
Yeah.
I gave up in the end because I just couldn't find it. Which is why I'm doing knitting. I'm finding 2 balls of this here and 2 balls of that there in the garage, you know. This is why I'm doing all sorts of stuff at the moment because I can't find anything.
Well, it'll all change.
So looking forward to
it. Eh? Even just when they've gone.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I mean, I've enjoyed having
things
them
about a bit like.
I've enjoyed having them here. Don't get me wrong. There's been no animosity. It's been great. But you know, there comes a time when you want to be on your own again. You know, and I think it was never meant to be. It was meant to be like because this house thing's been going on since May, believe it or not.
Gosh, is it that long?
It's that long since they chose the house. It's May. So they weren't intending to be here that long.
Yeah.
It was never intended to be. No. It was only supposed to be about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, from start to finish. It's turned out to be 6 months, but it's not a thing that neither of us wanted. I mean, I've loved having them here, and I'm going to really miss them when they're gone. But after spending like 10 years on your own...
Yeah, you want your own space back.
It's just things like, I go to bed at weird times. And I have to sort of creep upstairs trying to avoid all the creaky bits on the stairs, you know, whereas before I used to just march upstairs and go to bed at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever I felt like doing. But now you're always conscious, oh God, I don't want to wake them up, you know. So if the floorboard creaks, you stop dead. Then you start creak, creak, And everything in my house creaks. Everything. The kitchen floor creaks. Everything. And Ian closes that door too. Really closes it. And if he closes it, trying to get it open again in the, like 2 a.m, and he going, trying to, and it goes, and makes this really loud noise. If I remember, I go and open it before when they go to bed. I open it, leave it open a little bit. Well, the other day I tried to close my bedroom door, and I realised I don't close it, you see, when they're not here.
No.
And I'd actually painted over the mechanism. So,
right.
So it won't close because it's been painted over. I must have. And how long is it since I painted that door?
It's been a while.
It's a long time. But I've never needed to close it. It was just, I was trying to close it while he was plastering so I wouldn't get all the dust.
Yeah.
Coming in the bedroom. And I'm thinking, I can't close the door. Why can I not close the door? And it was painted over the little catch thing. That's the standard of my painting. And I still haven't painted the bathroom door yet. So it still hasn't got its towel rail or its hooks on. Because I don't like glossy gets on the chest.
I must admit, I don't like the smell of it.
I mean, I've been coughing because the paint that we used on the kitchen doors was knocking everybody sick. It was really strong.
Yeah.
And yet it's not gloss, but it's special paint.
Is it
for
that
cupboards.
eggshell?
No, it's special paint for cupboards.
Ah.
You have to sand it down, obviously. And you have to primer it and everything like that. But it's special cupboard paint. I suppose it's meant to be not just easily knocked off or whatever. And it's not shiny, like...
No, it's sort of like a...
But it's paint you can wipe down.
Yeah, I thought it was... is it satin rather than something else? I thought it was eggshell. Yeah,
eggshell is the one that dries dull. Satin is the one that dries like this, which is a bit of a shine to it. Because Ian was complaining about my kitchen ceiling. He couldn't paint over it, and I was saying, well, it's probably, a bit of grease. He said, no, it's been scrubbed over. So he said, what paint did you use? So I said, I used the, the satin finish.
Yeah.
So that's why he couldn't cover it. He's been rollering it and rollering it. They haven't done, have you noticed on my video that it's pale green still in the utility room bit of it? Because we haven't got around to that yet. But that's just a minor detail. I'm not a fussy person.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that was my daughter-in-law back then. Or my son back. We'll see. Blue card's
What
gone
could
past.
well be, I don't know.
I don't know, I hope not.
Well, not to worry, we'll have to have a second instalment.
I just clam up when they're around, I do, honestly. I can't chat.
No.
I mean, the other day they went to bed and I was trying to do a video and I was like on pins the whole time. Hearing him was creaking about. No, it must have gone straight down, I think.
Well, must admit, I thought I saw a person through the branches of the tree.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll see.
No.
When he arrives because they bring the dogs with them and they'll just come charging in.
Yeah.
To see Sue, and then they'll knock the tripod flying and everything.
Well, that's it, so we'll press the button if we see them. So if it's sudden...
If we suddenly go, man. You know what it is.
We always get a reputation for ending these videos, aren't we?
No, we usually talk past the end anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the other day, we said it hadn't clicked off, we were going to say goodbye. We clicked off ages before.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, let's say goodbye now and then.
We'll say goodbye and kiss the ghost.
Bye.
No, you said, how long have we been? And I said, I think we best say goodbye, so we said goodbye. And we cut off, 5 minutes before that.
Camera hadn't gone
no.
as it goes.
No, but we'd actually stopped filming about 5 minutes before that. Luckily, we didn't have a cliffhanger.
Right on.
It was just, it paused in a good place, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We just finished saying something, so it wasn't
that's
like,
all right.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Because normally we don't do, we finish in the middle of doing something. So I still haven't decided what I'm going to crochet next. I've just been asked by a friend to crochet something for her friend, and I'm not looking forward to it because she's found this pattern which is all charted, which me and Charts don't see eye to eye, and it looks as though it's in very, very, very fine cotton.
We'll have to find out what size she wants, because if it's
I'm going to have to improvise because I'm not doing it that thin.
No, you can't do it like with thread, can you?
No.
It's just...
You cannot get your money, you can't charge. I mean, look, I never got paid for that brown one I made.
Yeah.
And that was thin and it was on a really small hook and it took me forever. And then I had to undo it again. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I'd do it again because she didn't like it. And then I sent it to her and I still never got paid for it. So that's taught me I'm not spending...
Yeah.
And I spent 2 weeks solid doing that. It was all a waste of money, a waste of time.
Well,
so
I must admit,
me and a
if
fine
anything
hook,
like that, those are the sorts of things that you'd do for yourself, aren't they?
I don't think I'd do it for myself.
Would you not? No, but if you wanted it...
Not that fine, I would adapt it into something a bit thicker. I don't mean double knit, I mean...
Yeah.
A UK 4-ply, which is like a fingering.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing 4-ply, but that pattern looks like it's, you know, like the thread you use for crochet cotton. You know, mats.
Yeah, proper, yeah.
So I don't know. I'll have to see if she'll have an adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, do the style of it.
Yeah.
But it's something about 4-ply. You know, rather than thin.
Anything finer than that, and I think I'd only do it for myself.
And the trouble with thin crochet cotton is it's expensive. Really expensive. And if it's for someone who doesn't knit or crochet, they have no idea.
No.
That, you know, you can pay £3 for a tiny little ball of crochet cotton.
Yeah.
Tiniest ball. You know, this is why I prefer to sell things I've done rather than take an order.
Yeah.
I once had an order for her, sorry, before that. She wanted it was about a 4-tier skirt it was, and it was in fine cotton. And she said, how much would it be? And I said to her, look, I can't do it for the price you want to pay for it. I said, I just couldn't. You know, I said, for a start off, the fine material that she wanted it done in cotton.
Yeah.
I said, you're talking, what, £50-60 for the cotton before we start? You know, my time alone, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be doing it for £20, not that. It'd take me weeks to do it.
Yeah.
I don't like to turn things down, but...
There are some things just got to draw the line, haven't you? You've just got to say...
No. I mean, I've been asked to do an Afghan once, you know, like a bedspread thing. No. And I won't do mats either, you know, little fine mats. I wouldn't mind doing coasters if they were in thicker wool.
Yeah,
but you know, the fine intricate doilies, no. Things like that I don't do.
Well, I like doing them, but to make a shawl.
Yeah, doing
it thicker. In something thicker. And,
it's not the doily.
You know, a la Doris Jan exploded lace and what have you.
Well, there was somebody having a dig at her. I can't remember what I read the other day. And she was talking about crocheting with fine things and stuff, and she said, there's been too much of this chunky exploded stuff knocking about, and I'm thinking, are you having a dig at Doris? But she's won again, this...
Oh, she's been,
GC,
is it Hall of Fame or something?
Yeah, this grand something or other Crochet Guild of Crocheters or something. She's won that again for the umpteenth year.
Crochet Guild of America or
that's it, yeah. She's won that again for umpteenth time. So I think somebody was having a bit of a, a jealous streak.
Oh no, come on, what that woman's done for crochet and brought
she's
screaming into the 21st century.
She has, yeah.
You know, with
I think she's
crochet that you can wear
properly
these days, not like you say you crochet. Stuff, yeah, but you say you crocheting. Oh, my granny did that. Yeah, my grandma used to do that.
People think of like all the stuff that they used to wear in the whenever ago. They
just think of doilies.
Yeah. They
bedspreads.
Don't think that you can crochet.
And ponchos.
Yeah, they don't think that you can crochet something that's got a together stitch if you want to. For a cardigan. You can crochet a cardigan that looks like it's knitted now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done Aran ones that look like they're knitted and they're crocheted, it's not all open work. But I think she's brought people into, like you do more than I do. I don't do it really, but thinking outside the box.
Yes.
Like you can look at something and think, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and the other. And I can't see it until you've actually finished it. What you've been doing. My crocheting is more in like geometric shapes. Yeah. I can't think round corners and circles.
You're right, I know what you mean.
My thoughts don't go that way. That's not the way my brain works.
I must admit, that book, Amazing Crochet Lace.
Yeah.
I am not kidding. That really just... For me and my crochet, that turned a corner.
For you, yeah.
You know, because it's sort of like been looking at the patterns and seeing how they were constructed, and you thought, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. With me, it was the Everyday Crochet book. Because everything was top down.
Yeah.
And I had never, apart from a baby cardigan, I'd never made anything top down.
No.
I'd always made it the standard old-fashioned way. A back, a front, 2 sleeves and sew them all together. Because that's the way everything was, wasn't it? Even when I first started crochet, the very few crochet patterns that there were still written out like knitting patterns. They were like...
and you put everything together like a sewing pattern, a dress pattern,
you sewed it together, I mean, there was even a lady, I'm going back many, many years, she actually crocheted 2 sewing patterns. And I can't think if it's somebody I knew or whether it's somebody famous. But you know, you lay a tissue paper pattern.
Yeah.
And she would crochet 2. I mean, allowing for the giving and, you know, the crocheting to give it. She crocheted 2. The tissue paper knitting sewing patterns. And I remember thinking, But my first crochet was I crocheted to sweaters.
Right, yeah.
I used to lie a sweater that fitted me, a bought one, you know, machine knitted bought one, on the table, and I used to crochet to that shape, and that's the way I learned to crochet. The first thing I ever made was a sweater. I mean, everybody else says they started with a tea cosy or they started with a scarf. Not me, no. First thing I ever made was a sweater for myself. And I did that. It was my mum's idea, actually.
Yeah.
I was in bed with tonsillitis and I laid it on. And it was in 4-ply crepe. I always remember it was a beautiful, like a lavender blue colour.
Yeah.
And I was on a 10s hook. Because it was 10s in those days, not 3mm. A 10s hook. And I crocheted this up. And I did it in, hour, 2 treble, 1 chain, 2 treble, all the way across. Just going into the big holes everywhere. And I made a little keyhole neck and a little collar. And then I sewed a lining because it was before the days you could get these camisole tops.
Yeah.
I actually sewed a lining to go in it.
Looking at.
This is me, age 14, you know what I mean?
I think the first things I made were, I think at the time I'd been taught to crochet, and in turn I taught my friend, and we taught another friend, and we used to sit there trying to make clothes for her with Cindy dolls they were then.
Mine was always knitted or sewn.
We got the hang of making these tubes where you could turn these tubes into all sorts, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they were like tight little dresses, or you did a long one and put some, you know, we'd find some lace and put that round bottom to make an evening dress. And
I'll tell you what I used to do even when I was young, because I didn't crochet till I was 14, but when I was knitting, I'd get a baby pattern, and my doll was only about 16 inches tall. And I'd get a double knitting baby pattern, and I'd use tiny needles and 4-ply, and I'd knit the pattern to fit my doll.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I must have had the brain, you know, to do
that. You did have one.
I did, yeah. Gone now.
You've all.
But can you imagine at the age of what, about 10?
Yeah.
I mean, I was a bit late with my dolls. I still like my dolls when I was about 10 or 12.
But come on, that's a generational thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't unusual, even when I was a kid.
To have a doll, yeah.
You know, for 9 and 10-year-olds to have a doll's pram for Christmas.
I had a doll's pram for Christmas when I was about
10. I mean, these days,
10.
You know, you won't get away with that much over the age of 6.
It was like a pushchair, a doll's pushchair pram. I had a doll. And my mother kept saying, aren't you a bit big for this? But, you know, I played and played and played with that. I was young for my age. I don't think I went older until I went to the grammar school. Yeah. Until I was about 12, I think, when I went to the grammar school, 11, 12. I think that's when I sort of realised that the people weren't playing with the dolls, you know. But we were being crafty and sewing and knitting. Yeah. It was kind of like, I used to say I wanted to be a dress designer when I grew up. Because, you know, that's how I used to... I had a fashion doll, but it was long, long before Cindy's and Barbie's. It was just a fashion doll.
Yeah.
And I used to crochet and knit all sorts for her, And, you know, design them.
I think Barbie's getting on these days.
Yeah, but they weren't
she's over 50, I'm sure, isn't she?
But they weren't.
She's wearing well.
They weren't around when I was.
No.
They were just a teenage doll.
Yeah.
They hadn't got names. They were just a doll. Do you know? I even used to cut up nylon stockings that had holes in to make nylons and sew them up the back. I used to get sewn over and used to ladder.
Yeah.
That's how I used to do. I sewed her all sorts of things.
You see, but that was preparing you for adult life, because
now
there was nothing worse than getting a ladder in your tights and thinking, oh no.
Yeah, well, she wasn't Barbie, but whatever she was called, I don't know what she was called. She didn't have a name, I don't think. But she used to get ladders in her tights long before. Well, they weren't tights; they were stockings. I didn't know what tights were.
Mind you, sort of. Again, it's a generational thing, because I remember, you know, if you got a hole in your tights, you'd think, oh, I don't want that to ladder, and you'd put a
nail polish,
clear nail varnish, wouldn't you, to stop it laddering. But then when you got home, you'd sew it up.
Yeah, I sewed up many a ladder in my stocking.
These days, they just bin them.
Yeah. Well, when I got my first pair of tights, it was just before I got engaged. And we went on a trip on the Norfolk Broads in this boat. And these tights had cost a lot of money because they were new things, yeah. And I got this pair of tights and I thought, ooh, they were woolsey, as you can tell. They were about £3 or £4, I think they were. You know, my mother had treated me to this pair. And I rinsed them through and I put them on, I had a little washing line strung across the cabin. And we went across this big stretch of water called Potter Heigham. And it was the one place you could open up the throttle on the boat and really motor, because you couldn't on the actual canals bits. You couldn't do it on there, on the Broads. We went, oh, this is great, this is wonderful, this is gorgeous. And I comes downstairs, like into the cabin, and these tights were like a windsock. Oh, when I come to put them on at the night, I was nearly in tears because the legs had stretched. They would have fit somebody about 9 foot tall.
Good heavens.
And I was nearly crying because they were like me one pair of tights I'd took. And in those days, you didn't go bare-legged. You were uncouth if you went bare-legged, weren't you? That was really common, as they used to say. She's common. She doesn't wear stockings. She's common. You know, it's... Oh, you wore stockings no matter what, didn't you? Even if they had a ladder in them, you still wore your stockings. Yeah, my mother used to say, you don't go out without your stockings on, it's common. Yeah. It's like people who bleach their hair, it's common.
Yeah.
So, I'm common.
That's it, look at you now.
Look at me now, common as muck.
Yeah.
That's what other my mum was saying, as my dad saying, it's common as muck.
Yeah, common as muck.
Yeah. I was telling Harry something my dad had said the other day. Oh yeah, Harry kept dozing off and going to sleep like that. And he said, I'm not going to sleep. I said, you are going to sleep. I said, your granddad were like that. And every time we pulled him up, he'd say, I'm not asleep, I'm checking my eyes for light leaks. Your eyelids for light leaks, that was it. Checking my eyelids for light leaks. He was a funny man, my dad.
Oh dear.
He worked in a shop for years, he worked in a butcher's shop, and, you know, you have to be quick on your feet. It's like a stand-up comedian, really, you know.
Yeah.
With some of the things they used to say. And the girls used to, well, the women that come in used to like his banter, you know.
Yeah.
And I just sort of picked up on his humour, you know.
Well, it's funny, there was a programme on the radio this morning, and Andrew Marr was talking to Alan Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
The playwright, and I'm not kidding, he's northern by birth.
Yeah.
I think it was Leeds he was brought up in.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Listening, you know, because even though he's lived in the south for ages, he still A sounds northern, and B comes out with like northern phrases
and. Anybody born in the north ever loses it?
No.
I don't think you do. I think it's just a way. You know, wasn't he in The Lady in the Van, that film?
Yeah, he wrote it.
Yeah, with Maggie Smith. I must see that. I've not seen it yet.
I know I fancy watching that one, but he did all the talking heads. Do you remember the very famous one with Thora Hurd?
Yeah.
The biscuit under the...
Yeah. He's a very funny man, isn't he?
Oh, he's
yeah.
Fantastic. Witty, dry.
And he written books as well.
Do you know, I'm not sure.
I thought he had.
I know it's just been sort of plays that
well, maybe it's plays
I've seen, you know. Yeah. But no, that lady in the van looks...
Oh, I must watch that. Maggie Smith, she's brilliant, isn't she? She's absolutely brilliant.
And she just...
Did you watch Downton Abbey? She was in that.
Yeah, she's... Violet, Lady Violet.
Lady whatever.
Dowager.
She was so funny the way she used to come out with...
Yeah.
Typical saying. Somebody was saying to me, you know, you talk about all these things and you never thought about doing like videos or writing down, you know, about your childhood and your life and that. Now I started writing a sort of autobiographical, whatever.
Yeah.
Novel ones. Years back I'd started doing it because one of my friends had said, you know, you write such funny emails, why don't you just, you know, do them like a book and stuff. But I wrote one chapter and then my PC crashed. And I hadn't backed it up, so I just thought it was an omen.
Yeah.
Forget it. Don't go back to it. I'd be alright me doing, you know, some authors with autobiographical, I can't say that word, autobiographies, have a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
And the people concerned just chatter on, don't they? I'd be alright with that. I could
don't
chatter
look at
on.
me.
No. I could chatter on and people pick the right bits out and put them in context, don't they? I'd be no good because I've got like a butterfly brain and I jump from one era to another era.
Yeah.
Because something will trigger in my mind, you know. I mean, my son goes daft with me here. He says, why don't you do one job? Just start one job and finish one job. But I go in another room and I think, oh, I haven't done that. So then I don't do that, what I started off doing, I go and do this. And then I get halfway through this and something will, let's go. Everything gets done eventually, but I've got like 4 or 5 half done jobs all the way around the house before I finally finish anything, and it drives him mad. He wants me to start one job, work all the way through it and finish it. But I get sidetracked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's normal though.
Is it?
Honest to God, I think there are more people like that than there are...
I thought it was just me.
No, because if I'm honest, I think I'm a bit like that.
I can't do one thing from start to finish. I really can't. You know? I can start washing dishes, get halfway through washing them and think, oh, I've got to go and do such a thing.
No,
before.
I must admit, the washing up,
no,
it's finished when it's on the draining board, not when it's dried and put away, but when it's on the draining board, then it's finished.
Well, you notice from my kitchen thing that it's just on the draining board. No, but mine is, I can do half of the washing up, and then I suddenly think of something, or I get distracted, or the doorbell will ring or something,
and you never get to go back to it.
And I never go back to it, and then I go back and the water's cold, and I think, So then I think, I might as well wait while tea time while there's some more dishes to wash. You know, this is me. Butterfly brain, hello. My dad christened me that when I was little. Butterfly brain and butterfly flitting about and goldfish brain. That's what my dad christened me. Oh, goldfish brain. I never had parents who encouraged me, as you can tell. They never said, oh, that's wonderful, Johnny. How marvellous is that painting? They never said that.
Did they not?
No, did they? It was, well, you've got to clear up that mess when you've done. Oh, real encouragement, isn't it? You know? When your mother tells you, I can't do anything with her hair, it's right scrappy. She says, she don't look right with a bow in it, she don't look right without it. Although I never know whether to give her short skirts or long skirts because her legs are that skinny, they're like bits of string. You know, I mean, when you grow up in an atmosphere like that, you know, you think, they never let you get above yourself, as my mother used to say.
Yeah. Oh no, we were still, you know.
Yeah. She used to call me Lady Jane because that's where my model name comes from, Lady Jane. With my airs and graces, she used to say. Yeah. Who died and made you queen, she used to say.
No, we were still, you know, feet smack bang on the floor, but we weren't given encouragement.
Or what did your last slave die of? Go and do it yourself.
Oh, that's a common one. I still use that. What did last slave die of? Yeah.
Well, I used to say, Mum, will you do this? She said, when did last slave die of?
Yeah.
Go
There's
and do it
another one
yourself.
that's similar.
And my gran had one. You can't say can't. Can't means won't try. And that used to really aggravate me when I was little. I used to say, I can't do this, Grandma. And she said,
no such thing
no
as
such
can't.
word as can't. Can't means you won't try.
Yeah.
Go and try it, and then if you can't do it, come back and tell me you can't do it. But don't tell me you can't do it before you've tried it.
Yeah.
She was very wise, my grandma.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, you know, it's sort of, you find yourself using those same phrases to your own kids and now grandkids.
Yeah. If you don't know what you're crying for, come here, I'll give you a slap and then you'll know what you're crying for. Yeah.
Do you want something to cry for?
Yeah. Give you a slap. Yeah. Oh, you know.
Oh, no, I didn't even need to expand on that.
Oh, my mother used to have
it was a case
a load of
do you want something to cry for?
Yeah. Oh, it was always that. Yeah. And all this, oh, don't you like that, love? I'll make you something else. None of that in our house.
Oh, God, no, you got what you were given, and if you didn't eat
it went round everybody else's plate, yeah. If you said, oh, don't like that, I don't want it, my mother used to have it on everybody else's plate, and you'd have an empty plate there. She used to say, and so we said you didn't want it.
Yeah.
Not wasting it.
Yeah.
So you'd be, and I used to say, well, can I have bread and butter? No, you didn't want your dinner, you don't get anything. I tell you what, there'd be more kids that weren't fussy eaters.
I know, if they did that.
We weren't fussy eaters.
That's it.
You ate it or you didn't get anything. That was how it was in my day. If you didn't eat it, that was it. You didn't get anything until the next meal. There was none of this, would you like this or would you like that? Or,
no, it's a case of, what's for tea, Mum? And it was like, a meal. And that was everybody. It wasn't,
no choices.
You're having such a thing.
No choices. No.
Me and your dad are having such a thing.
No, none of that. None of that.
Everybody else same.
The only thing my mother would cater for was I really, really didn't like pineapples. You know?
Right.
That was the only thing she would cater me to. She used to just leave me out if it was pineapple anything. Because she knew I really, really hated it. But apart from that, you just had to... You used to be hiding things on the plate, wouldn't you? And if I'd said I didn't like peas, my mother used to get hold of a fork and mooch them all in my mash.
Yeah.
Like that. And she'd say, right, there you go. And I said, oh, you put them all in my mash. Well, you'll eat your mash, won't you? Oh,
I was never a fussy eater. I can't remember any sort of,
Pineapples were the only thing I could remember. I didn't like the taste of them. They used to make me feel sick.
But it was like my kids and grandkids, if, you make a meal and, I don't like such a thing. Oh, why? Have you tried it? No. Well, how can you say I don't like it? Well, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Have you tried it? And we go round and round in circles. Yeah. And so it's like, well, try a bit.
Yeah. I can't understand these mums who make like 4 different meals. Oh,
no chance.
No chance. No chance. I mean, when Irene was little, yes, I did make him different meals sometimes if it was something that we were having that wasn't suitable for a child, Like if you're making coq au vin or something, you put wine in things, I know it evaporates out of things, but... or I've had things with highly seasoning. When he was tiny, I used to make him something separate then. But it wasn't because he didn't like what we were having, it's just I didn't think it was suitable.
No.
For him to eat. But most of the time he ate what we ate. There was no fussing. He was very fussy when he was about 2, we went through about 6 months where he would only eat cubes of cheese, grated carrot, grated cheese and drink milk.
Mind you, I think all kids do go through a phase
we went through that for about 6 months and he used to drive me crazy. I went to the doctors and the doctor said, look, he's getting cheese, he's getting milk, don't worry about him. He's got enough going in, into him to keep him healthy. He'd worry more if he was only eating sweets. So he doesn't get sweets, don't give him sweets. He never knew what chocolate was till he was 2, And then it was
That's not such a bad thing, is it?
Then it was next door who gave it to him. He gave him a Mars bar. I tell you, a full Mars bar to a 2-year-old.
Oh, God.
And he just took one bite out of it and went like that, spit it out and give me the other Mars bar. That's why I got fat. Can't eat these Mars bars. He didn't know what chocolate was.
Yeah.
He just never eaten it, never gave it to him. He never ate it. It's easy to do it if you've got little and just don't give them to them. They don't know what it is. You know, don't encourage them with bad habits. Don't give them chocolate and sweets. Don't give them. They don't know what they are. They don't want them. And I never had